Hey team, Marty the OT Guy here for a Friday Q&A. We received a really good question last week from Damien, all about assertions. And let's not mess around. We'll give him the answers that the man wants. Let's get into the lab. Let's go. We'll start here with what is an assertion? And in simple terms, an assertion is a custom alert. So why would you use an assertion? Well, if an out-of-the-box alert maybe isn't quite doing what you need it to, or you need to refine something to make it a little bit more specific to your use case, maybe an alert, a query, or whatever, when would you use an assertion? Again, it's if something we're doing out of the box is not quite giving you what you want, you can craft up an assertion that should give you the answer that you need. Assertions answer yes, no, or true, false questions. That's something to remember. We don't want to try to assert on a wide range of data or bucketed data, time series data, anything like that. You need to craft a query which answers your question yes or no, true or false, a binary answer, something like that. And how do we create an assertion? It all starts with a query. So let's get on a Guardian and take a look. So let's start here with a simple query. So we take the links table and we're joining it to the nodes table using the to field from links and the IP field from nodes. So we're taking these IP addresses and where they match, joining these two tables together. It's sort of like a key in a database. And we want to select the records or return the records where the is_to_public flag equals true. So we're asking for all the links which are starting inside our network and trying to talk to the outside world. When we hit enter here, we get back a result set. Now, if this was your OT environment and you've got a bunch of devices that are trying to talk to the outside world, this is probably a concern. So we can turn this into an assertion. This is a very simple assertion. We'll look at something more complex shortly. But all we do is we pipe this into an assert command. So the ones we want to look at here in this stage is assert empty and assert not empty, because this is the simplest place to start from. So really what you're saying is, do we want the assertion to be valid if it returns a data set or if it doesn't return a data set? That's really all it is. And in this case, we want the assertion to be valid if it returns no data, because I want to be happy to know that nothing in my network is trying to talk to the outside world. So when I run this, I get a red bar, which means the assertion has failed. And the assertion failed because we have data coming back. So this is our true, false, yes, no, the answer to our true, false, yes, no question we were talking about. So we've really said, raise an alert if I have links that are trying to contact the outside world. And that's what we're seeing here. So if we change this and instead of saying assert empty, we change it to assert not empty. What we're really doing, we're changing the, flipping the polarity of the query, or changing the outcome of the query, if you like. And what we're really saying is, if I have links in my network that are talking out to public IP addresses, then I'm okay with that. Don't alert. That's what this one is, the assert not empty. So if I switch over here from the queries page to the assertions page, you can see I've got an assertion query at the top here, which is quite long and quite complicated. And the good thing about the assertions page is it has a debug function. So we'll turn that on now. And let's take a look at what this query does. So I hit enter to run the query. It's coming back and giving me a nice green everything is happy. Everything is happy. It's asserting because there are no returned results, okay? It is asserting because everything is empty. So let's take a look at this query. So the first part of it says, from the links table, where protocol equals OPC UA, where is_to_public equals true, assert empty. So we're saying, do we have any OPC UA links that are trying to talk to the public? That's the query we're looking for there. Are any of my OPC UA devices trying to reach out to the public internet? Then we're adding, or we're doing a logical AND, to links where protocols Ethernet IP trying to talk to the public. So same thing. Are any of my Ethernet IP devices trying to talk to the public internet? Then finally we add, are any of my nodes which are using Ethernet IP or OPC UA not learned? So you can see there right at the end where is learned equals false. And as long as all of those individual assertions come up as green, as true, they're a happy assertion, then overall we get a green result. But if we changed any of these, and just to make it quick and easy, as soon as we change one of those, we could see with our initial assertion where protocol equals OPC UA, but now we're saying where is to public equals false. That assertion is failing, and we get the alert criteria, and the overall assertion becomes an alert, or can be an alert. So once your assertion is happy, we need to save it. So we hit the save button, we give it a name, put something in there for a description if you need to. The description is what is displayed in the alert. So this is my assertion. We sort of want that to happen. Notes, if you need any, you need to assign the assertion to a group. You may need to create a new group. So I have an assertions group, we'll leave it in there. You can decide whether this is a security assertion or an operational assertion. And you need to set your execution or check interval. So I'll go for 600 seconds every 10 minutes. Do you want your assertion to send alerts or not? I want it to send an alert, and I want it to have a 10-second, I'm okay with having a 10-second delay before the alert is raised. I want to change the alert risk. I want it to come up as a 7.5, risk score of 7.5. And you can choose the alert type. There's quite a few to choose from there, but for this particular one, assertion failed is probably okay. You can say whether you want to select a trace or not. If you enable that, you need to put a BPF filter in here for the trace that you want to see. And then finally, you've got the query at the bottom, which is the query that this assertion operates on. So we hit save, and that's a saved assertion, and it's now operating. And if it fails, we will get an alert. So for demonstrating the alert, I've gone back to a much simpler assertion here. So we just want to assert or raise an alert if I have connections to the public internet. Now we know my network has connections to the public internet because I've got it configured that way. So I'll run this assertion. We'll use debug here, and we'll run this assertion. We can already see that it's failed. So now I'll save it as an alert. I'll save it so I can raise an alert, and then we'll see when the alert comes up. Okay, so you can see here I've got a number of assertion failed alerts come up, and this is from the simple assertion that I just created prior. You can imagine, or you can understand, that if you don't craft your assertions properly, you're going to end up with a lot of alert noise. So take your time, take care, and as always, if you need help, reach out to Nozomi's customer success people or our professional services, and we'll help you get your assertions right. Okay, so big thanks out to Damien for asking such a good question and being the first guy to jump into our Friday Q&A ideas here. Look, if you've got all the way through this and you've enjoyed it and you've got questions yourself, drop a comment in below. Ask your questions, we'll create you a video answer. I'm Marty the OT Guy. See ya.